Now, before I stitch this video in that I got from my boy President Dante's page, I'm going to definitely tag him in this video. Go to his page because he got a lot of interesting content and educational content that can help a lot of people. But before I post this video, I want to add some commentary to it because I often get in conversations like this with my fellow Black Americans on a regular basis, and I try to point out the connection between political parties that we vote for exclusively and also our culture, and that we vote for the same political party that influences our culture. Now, when you think about Black American culture, it is not something that is grassroots. It is pop culture and Black culture are intertwined with one another, meaning that Black American culture is manufactured culture, manufactured by commercialism. Now, when you think of our music, why is our music constantly saturated with things that destroy the family structure and destroy pretty much all your hopes and dreams? Like, for example, much of the hip-hop community is centered around murder. It's centered around promiscuity, which will destroy the home. Murder, of course, will definitely destroy the home of both the victim and the person who's committing the crime. Ice Cube and Bone Thugs and Harmony have both did videos on their podcast talking about how the prison industry is invested into the rap industry in order to keep the prisons 95% occupied. Now, draw those connections together and see what political parties that the leaders of our pop culture, when it comes to music and movies and general entertainment, what political party do they vote for? Why is it when a Black person is speaking intelligently and is enunciating its words and speaking on a level that an adult should, it is considered white, a white thing to do? And why, when you are speaking in a gutter language or you acting ghetto or hood, you are acting Black? And how is acting hood, which is so-called considered acting Black, is a benefit for the Black community? Are you actually being a Black person, or you are being a person who is colored brown on the outside but behaving white on the inside when you promote these things? Why is it that the Black community considers the N-word as their word? Who else also considers that is their word? What other organization would consider the N-word as your word? You clearly see it as your word if you get insulted by any other ethnicity using that word to pertain to themselves. You would call that cultural appropriation. But why is the N-word so much of an important part of your culture? You need to ask yourself that, then go back and think about the political party that you exclusively vote for, Black America, who also manufactures your culture to you and give you your identity. The identity of the N-word. Now, I'm going to play this video, and I would like to know more what you think. Go ahead and put your thoughts out here in the comment section. This is Bill Banks signing out. It's the Unapologetic Black Republic. Peace.
The Republican Party in Texas was started on the 4th of July, 1867 in Houston, Texas by 150 blacks and 20 whites. It was that way across the South. The Republican parties were started in the South by African Americans. In the state of Texas, two of our first three statewide Republican chairmen were African American. The first 42 black legislators elected in Texas were all Republican. The first 112 black legislators elected in Mississippi were all Republican. The first 190 black legislators elected in South Carolina were all Republican. The first 41 in Georgia, the first 127 in Louisiana. So now you've got all these African Americans really stepping up and starting to gain political standing, political power. Now, you have Democrats on the other side who have been very racist. It's in their platforms. They support the Dred Scott decision. They think the fugitive slave law is great. They started a nation to keep slavery alive. Very racist. And so now they're facing a situation where that these blacks are now their rulers, are now in office, are now U.S. senators, are now U.S. How do you stop that? 1866, Democrats themselves started the Ku Klux Klan. Its purpose was not to kill blacks. Its purpose was to take control and return Democrats to power. Their stated purpose in the KKK was to stop Republicans and restore Democratic control. Now, if you're looking for a Republican that you want to take care of, you can wipe out any black you want because they're 100% Republicans at that point in time. You can't wipe out any white. I mean, some whites might be Democrats. You got to be a little more judicious when you're wiping out whites. So what happens is the Ku Klux Klan starts attacking, not blacks, Republican conventions. For example, in New Orleans, in the Republican convention in Louisiana, the Klan joined with the New Orleans police, joined with the New Orleans mayor, Democrats. They attacked physically at the convention in New Orleans, Republican convention. They killed 40 blacks, killed 20 whites. They wounded 150 others. In 1868, they put out a push card in South Carolina, and it listed what they call the radical members of the South Carolina legislature. That push card's about the size of a baseball card. It was put up by the Klan. Klan put it out. It had the pictures of 63 legislators that needed to be wiped out in South Carolina. 50 of those legislators were black, 13 were white. Now, they were all 63 Republican. On the back of the card, it gave you the name of each legislator so you'd know who you're trying to kill. Congress starts these hearings in this group called the Klan. And they have hearings, and so they bring in Democrat leaders that under oath from these Democrat states said, yes, the Klan belongs to our party. It's actually in Congress. 1872, the hearings, it's a 13-volume set of hearings in Congress. Unequivocally, Democrats say the Klan is ours and belongs to us. It's there to restore Democrat control in the southern states. Those guys who lived through it made it very clear. For example, one of the early black congressmen was John Roy Lynch. Another early black congressman was Richard Kane. And they're having to fight the Klan physically for their own safety. They go armed to Congress because of Klan attacks. These guys said, if we as blacks would simply stop voting the Republican ticket, if we would agree to vote the straight Democrat ticket, all the violence
Beast mode, motherfuckers!